drifting in and out, see the path you're on. You come rolling down the cheek, know just what you need, and in between, it's never as it seems. Help me to make it, help me to make it. If you build.
How do you guys feel about Guild
It's
Bands?
me. Guild. It's alright. I mean,
It's alright.
It's
the class is alright. This space isn't great. It's not great that this is
Yeah.
like
It's a shitty place.
that you have to be in that class to get this.
Yeah.
This room sucks sound-wise.
Think about playing in a tin box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really terrible.
You can.
You can't hear anything.
It kills so much sound. You know, like it's designed to keep sound in, which makes sense for the rest of campus, but doesn't make sense
That's a
for
great
the bands.
analogy of the school, though. Like, let's just lock the music kids away and not
Yeah,
give
we'll
a
give
shit
them
about their
some-
equipment.
We don't have to hear them or deal with them.
Why I don't do Guild of Bands anymore? Yeah, sure. I just feel like it was, I don't know, it's a really good thing for someone, like I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and what kind of music I was playing, and it's a great way to meet other musicians at the school, which is like obviously not an easy thing since there aren't many of us. But I feel like once you do have your direction and you want to be a sort of more legitimate band and actually making the kind of music you want to make, it's sort of superfluous, and the structure of the class just becomes more of a hassle than anything.
Yeah, Guild was a problem for us because not all of our members are in Guild. And there's no good place to practice other than in here. That's really the main reason that we do Guild, is for the practice space.
Yeah, not only do you have
Because-
to be in Guild to use this room, but if you're not in Guild, you cannot be in this room at all.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Yeah, otherwise you will be kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is-
when we
Okay.
practice with our guitarist, he has to sit in the hallway. With Sasha, our guitarist, he has to sit in the hallway
Just
and
point
like
his
aim
amp
his amp at us
just
so we
into
can
the room
maybe
so
hear
that we
it.
can kind of hear it.
And like, you get a good shot of this room. It's a hallway, and
It
there's
sucks.
a door at one end.
It's basically
I'm
like
at
a
the other. I
storage
never
unit.
hear Sasha ever.
You can pretty much only hear whoever's directly next to you. Kind of.
And the drums.
Yeah,
Because
you
they're
know,
Yeah, the
yeah.
drums.
fucking
That also
loud in
sucks.
here.
This is-
So the only practice space that's really official is the Guild of Bands room, which you have to pay for, and you have to take that class, which is super frustrating because if it's not what you want to do, you basically have to force yourself to attend this class simply for the practice space. So my band has been practicing in the, like, well, in my apartment sometimes, which is, you know, not everyone has that, and then also the student center in New South is being renovated.
We've gone to like the New South recreation place where they're setting up the bar and all of that, and it's like all being renovated, but we managed just to get in, and it's just a space, so it's better than nothing. But like it had like a noticing like asbestos project going on.
And we found that it's like where all those old practice rooms used to be, but because it's being renovated, nobody's there. So we can use that like sort of hallway area to practice, and we won't bother anyone with noise. But it's hard because there's really like no space, and that's not even like that's not a permanent thing at all. We just happen to find it. So
On the whole, it's not great. Coupled with like the limitations on noise, things like that, it just gets tough. It gets tough, A, to practice, and B, to perform.
restaurant is so performance based, which I struggle with a lot because the kind of music I like is not the kind of music that like, people dance to or anything like that. Like it's fine live, but it's not, you know, if you're gonna have a house party, like my band is not about to be the closing act so everyone can rage. So that's something I struggle with because we have to find like the appropriate venues for us. And I don't know, it kind of kills your confidence sometimes, definitely. But right now we're just not really viewed as anything. We're just like this like subculture that doesn't really matter. So yeah.
Well, we always just Ryan missed it last time, but then we always just cancel it.
Well, I didn't miss it last.
Yeah, but we canceled it. The problem is without
I didn't
Brian,
show
it
you guys
negates
to
the whole
cancel.
reason of finding like a different space.
Yeah, that's also true.
Brian should pay for every practice. Hey, fuck you.
Wait, yeah.
We used to practice at my house here in Georgetown, but now we practice at Dangerously Delicious Pies. They have some studios in the back that they rent. You can get it for 3 hours for $75. So we do that once a week. In terms of like the creative process, it's not really ideal because it's like a business transaction. It doesn't really lend itself to like, I don't know. We get in there and there's so much pressure to play and to write because we want to get our money's worth. But it's you know, when we were playing at my house, it was just like all the time we were always sitting around in there and the instruments were always there and our friends were always around, and it there was just a lot more creative stimulation kind of.
It's changed the dynamics of the band a little bit. Can't deny that. It's a small space, so you can't have people hanging around and throwing in ideas. You know, I think some of our best stuff came from everybody just hanging out. We're trying to make the best of it. So it's like a different phase in a lot of ways in the short history of our band. So we're just trying to adapt to it the best we can.
We recognize that sound has these limitations. Like we are in a certain room, like we can only get the sound to behave in certain ways in this room. But then once we know what those ways are, we can do an infinite number of things with that. And so that room is just setting kind of a boundary for what we can do. But then what we can do is infinite.
It's a great example of being creative within the confines, constraints. Because jazz is literally, you know, its foundation is just this whole catalog of standards that has the changes for all these songs laid out from the beginning. But then the whole point of jazz is just to do something out of that. You know, literally improvisation
out of that
is like pure creativity that had its start within probably the opposite of improvisation.